You're good. I'm just gonna grab my CDs,
grab your ciggies. I don't want this edited.
Hold up, Joel, I'll make something out.
Now you gotta tell him redo so Liam knows the edit. Sorry.
This is so much more difficult and awkward than I thought it would be.
Alright, well,
I'm not done. Hold on, I gotta leave.
this is all staying in there.
Nutrition, man. Carbo load.
Yo, my name is Billy. I am the vocalist of Timekeeper.
I'm Liam. I play guitar in Timekeeper.
I'm Joel Mendoza. I'm one of the guitarists for Timekeeper.
So this is different. I'm Derek. I play drums in Timekeeper.
What's up? I'm Phil. I play bass for Timekeeper.
Shit, dude, I'm not too sure what to say about this. I got started with Timekeeper about a little bit over a year ago. I did music since I was like 17. I was in a lot of falling out projects. I lived in a small town. Nobody really wanted to keep up with doing the work, or else somebody else slacked on it, or we just never had shows coming. After some time of doing vocals, I released like a solo project song. I think 2 of them I did. The first one was absolute trash, honestly. And the second one was like still kind of trash, but not as bad. But because of that second song, Liam heard of it, hit me up, and asked me if I want to do vocals for these guys about a year ago. Because, you know, I went straight to a show with these guys. It was my first show ever. I didn't ever talk to these dudes. So I get there before they set up, and it was really nerve-wracking, you know? First show. I also had like 5 days to practice for their first show. So that was like, it was enough to impress the guys at least, and they accepted me on board. So I ended up picking up like the last 2 days or 3 days of their one tour, and then I became a permanent thing.
Dude, it's kind of a really long story actually, but I mean, I'll try to sum it up. Juwan and I had this project a long time ago that we never really got off the ground. We recorded some songs, we had a bunch of member changes. You know, I wasn't in the right headspace dealing with just like substance abuse and stuff like that. And I just felt like I wasn't in like a position to lead anything. With all the member changes and everything, I just said, here you go, guys, like I'm giving you this. A couple years later, after dealing with some time in jail, homelessness, other substance abuse issues, I finally got out of all that, and I made this solo instrumental project because I wanted to do music still. So I went to all these open mic nights and stuff like that, and like no one would let me play a real show because they're just like, oh, you're just one person, like we don't want that, we want a whole band. So I couldn't get any shows or anything. After a bit, you know, I contacted Denny, who is now our ex-bassist, and I was like, hey, are you guys still looking for a drummer? So I found them Derek really quick. They joined up, and in that same conversation, I was like, you know, if you guys need anyone to play guitar or anything like that, like I'm free, let me know, I'd love to help out. So he's like, well, actually our last guitarist bailed on us, so we have that spot open if you want it, it's yours. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, the page we're doing everything on is dead, like no one really heard our songs or anything like that. Why don't we use this name that I'm going with, and why don't we just try and re-release everything? We did that. You know, we grew for a little bit. We went on a tour instrumentally because one of the vocalists we had ended up quitting like kind of right before we left. While we were out on the road, I contacted Billy because, you know, him and I used to talk a lot. Like, hey, are you still in that band? And he's like, no, I'm not, what's up? And I was like, well, do you want to join this? And he's like, yeah, sure. We gave him like a couple days or something to get the songs down and just had him show up at a show. Dude killed it. That was our vocalist. After a while, you know, Denny had his own personal issues. We ended up picking up Phil because he was just like our biggest fan at the time here in Minnesota. So he's like, yeah, I mean, I can play bass, like, sure, why not? So we tried him out, and he was already a fan of the music. He was able to learn it really quick, and it all just kind of, that's how we got started.
Way before Timekeeper, I've known Liam since at least 2012. As soon as I graduated high school, I had a band or a smaller project that I was running with our former bassist, Denny Berg. So that means we had that band known as Imperials. We had a few songs that we're still using now. Years later, Liam ended up looking for me and finding me at an August Burns Red concert. They're probably my favorite band, probably ever. They've definitely helped me grow as a guitarist in terms of songwriting and playing. So yeah, I've been with Timekeeper since the beginning, a very long time. It's 8 years now that I know Liam.
Going back, like I played guitar and bass, and I learned a little bit of drums. Nothing compared to Derek at all. I look like a toddler compared to Derek. And vocals, and I was vocals in my last band. I've never been full-time bass, but I knew the Timekeeper dudes. We played a show together, my old band and them. We had a merch table next to each other. It was like, just whatever, like, hey, what's up, guys? And like, I knew of them, and I'd seen their shows, and I knew that they were really, really, really good. So we palled around and like actually got to know them a little bit. I think that was like one of Billy's first shows. So I got to see that. Boyo was so nervous. They threw out beach balls, and I was just like, Hawk and beach balls of Billy. Then they announced that Denny was bailing out just due to whatever, he wanted to do his own thing. And I was like, I can play bass. I had just exited my old band at the time. Figured this is good music. The guys are really cool. Why would I not? Like, it's just way too good an opportunity. I messaged Liam, we chatted for a while, came and tried out, and they more or less offered it to me that day, which I absolutely didn't expect at all. And of course, Denny, like, super nice dude, but it's always a little bit nerve-wracking inherently to be playing bass parts with the guy who's the soon-to-be old bass player chilling. So it's like, what's up? Hope I'm doing okay. Danny stuck around for a little while because I got like kind of dropped into it because he wanted to get out, but he was also gracious enough to like do the shows that he signed on for and agreed to and all that. So it kind of allowed me to thoroughly learn everything that I needed to with enough time.
Okay, in high school, I was in a band before they fell, playing drums. And then after that, just kind of fell off, didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of working. At that point, I was like 2 or 3 years out of high school. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing, what I wanted to do. Tried my hand at rapping, and that was fun. I'm not like a fantastic rapper, but I love hip hop. It's fun. Then I started drumming with a local rapper, Ray Gordo. Tried doing just like some standard beats and whatnot, but then it was me, Ray Gordo, and then the DJ, Rich Lee. Those two were like, bro, you gotta like let loose. So I did, and it was a lot of fun. We did some really dope shows. I was really missing the metal stuff. I was getting really inspired. My buddy Noah kind of gave me direction. He's like, dude, check out the Minnesota pages and whatnot. Saw Will's post, Liam's post for needing a drummer. They all brought me on. I like was learning the drums and I got into it. So that's where we're at now.
You know, Timekeeper has impacted me quite a bit. Like I was saying, I mean, I was dealing with a lot of substance abuse issues and stuff, going down like a really rocky road. Joining this actually put like some stability into my life. It provided me an outlet to deal with all of these negative emotions that I was trying to cope with and use them constructively. It's kind of taken up a lot of my life. I mean, that's my day-to-day thing. I'm thinking about like, what are we gonna do next? What can we put out? What music have we got going? What do we want to do for videos? So it's impacted me that way, just taking over my daily life. It's given me a chance to travel because I grew up really poor. We never really had the means to travel to anywhere besides like our relatives that lived on like the northern border of Iowa or just up north in Minnesota. So I've never been able to like see mountains or the desert or the ocean or anything like that. After finding these guys, like it really helped me be able to see all those things that I wanted to see. So I would say that's kind of how it impacted me.
It's given me opportunities such as touring, having crazy fun outside of home, video games and stuff like that, because that's mainly what I do is just play games. It's pushed me to have a skill that I never thought I would reach. So it's definitely made me a better musician. It's given me something to look forward to. It feels like something more important than just a band. As an artist, I feel like it's made me a little more valuable because it's giving me so much experience, patience, and it's helping with creativity and stuff like that. So I feel like the band's going somewhere because of that. We work so well together. Not to toot our horn, but we don't really push out anything that we think is either like mediocre or not good enough. Every single riff is usually nitpicked and looked at like thoroughly, combed over many times.
It hasn't really impacted me that much as an artist. Like I'm learning new songs and it's great. I think these guys have impacted me more as a person. They're really laid back. I've been a stick in the mud previously, especially with my old bands, and that led to some rough roads. But I came in here and it was just like, I mean, this isn't my band. Like I'm here to help, I'm here to play, I'm here to have fun and hang out, play music. These are good dudes. It's an easy thing.
I've definitely done a lot more with this band. I never toured really before this point. I was able to get an endorsement through drums. I rock SJC drums, beautiful drums. I met up with Chris Smith, the drummer of Archers, who is also co-owner of Scorpion Percussion. So I use Scorpion Percussion drumsticks. The fact that I've been able to like build relationships with different companies has been really cool. Meeting more people outside of the States and seeing this beautiful country.
Timekeeper definitely changed everything I was doing at the time. I was kind of in a rough spot about a year ago. Just, living with my parents, working a job all the time and not really saving up money, not really having any idea what I'm gonna do with life. When Liam hit me up, I started doing music with them, realized I needed to start switching around, how I managed money. Did that not even like 4 months later or something like that, and I ended up moving in with the dudes. So right now, like I live with Liam and I live with Jawan, which is great. It's super easy on income, super easy to do music stuff. Videos like this, get put out all the time. We can do a bunch of small shit. It's great.
The Biggest nerd. Billy doesn't seem like it, but he's pretty nerded out.
I could say myself, sometimes I feel that way. I love watching cartoons. Sometimes I go back and watch like old animes or old, I don't know, whatever, Lord of the Rings, samurai shit.
Depends on what you're talking about. I am probably the biggest nerd for music gear, but if we're talking general nerd, absolutely Juwan.
I'd probably have to say it's me.
No doubt. That boy loves his games.
That's a big tie between Juwan and Billy, actually. I mean,
I tend to know a lot about, computers and phones and how to work them. I play a lot of video games.
He's always gaming. Like, he'll bring his laptop and like Switch and game systems and stuff on tour.
ever since Juwan moved in, all I see that kid doing is just streaming constantly or just playing Smash Bros. So,
I have the Switch, I have the Xbox, I play on computer mostly. I used to have a PS3, stuff like that, so I'd say I'm the biggest nerd.
I think I gotta give it to Juwan.
It's nice to see somebody that's got a big passion outside of doing music.
Fuck. What is your favorite tour memory? We toured twice now. Wait, did we tour twice? I believe it was twice. Yeah.
I know a lot of the other guys probably brought up like really cool times. Like I know we went to, it was in California. There was like a beachside theme park that was pretty fun. That was really cool.
There's so many, but the two that stand out to me, both when we were in Utah, we stopped on the side of the road.
Derek went outside.
Derek had to take a piss. He's pissing by the trailer, and for whatever reason, dude, he's like
Peeing right behind the van where the passenger door is.
just facing the front of the van, right?
So you can clearly see, what was happening there.
And so Billy gets out
Billy stepped out,
and he like just stands there, looks over,
stared right at Derek's dick,
looks at Derek's dick,
and then looked up at Derek and says, "I just saw your dick, dude."
got back in the van, and he's like, dude, I think I just saw Derek's dick.
I think that's my favorite tour memory.
Other than that, the one that sticks out to me the most is when it got really hot in Utah and I was super hungry. It was around that same time, actually. I went into the trailer to get like my ravioli or whatever I was eating. Just end up taking off my pants, taking off my shirt. I had just cut my hair down in Missouri, like into this kind of mullet looking thing. And so I'm like sitting here and they're just laughing in the back and just making all these memes about me, about like Joe Dirt and everything. And that's like one really big one that stuck out to me.
By far, one of my favorite memories are probably when we went to Colorado. I like weed. Weed's cool. So being able to go to Colorado where it was legal and being able to like go to dispensaries, it was super dope. Just as last time we went around in August, I ended up buying like a caviar joint that had like hash, all this other stuff in it. Drank 100 milligrams and I just got like completely chopped. And we went Pokemon hunting and then we played Smash Bros all night. It was probably the best night of the tour.
I mean, my worst tour memory is probably when Billy and I, the vocalist, we were up all night driving from one of the last few shows from Arizona, I believe. All the places are closed, obviously, and the only gas station we found was they had no restrooms for anybody. So I had to shit outside on the road somewhere in the dark, hoping I wouldn't fall back into it or get bitten in the ass by something. So that's the worst one.
This last tour was really dope. We were blessed enough to be able to like, a few people open up their houses. Got to hang out with this band out of Omaha called Yoga for Cats. They let us stay at their house, so we played Smash Brothers all night with them. Guys smoked some weed with them. I smoked a little bit with them. It was pretty dope. Omaha is a lot of fun. Another one was being able to get to play in Arizona. Grew up down there. I got to stay with my buddy in Phoenix, and it was just really cool having the band down there and be able to play in my stomping grounds.
Yeah, we went and played in Lincoln, Nebraska. Derek and I are always trying to hit breweries, distilleries, tap rooms, whatever. Like, we're the ones that like the beer in the band, basically. And he's a bartender and he's teaching me his ways. Found a brewery like a couple of blocks away from where we were playing called Boiler Brewing Company in Nebraska. It was immediately upon walking in, it's just amazing. Beautiful place done up like 1930s, 40s. Basement of a hotel, just gorgeous. Like, we get in there, we're having a couple of beers and hanging out a few hours before doors. So we start chatting with the bartender, like we're talking to anybody who we can in town. Just, what's up, man? What's up? Hey, we're playing over here tonight. So we told the bartender we're chatting with him, asking questions, asking about the town or whatever. His name was Alex. Come see us play. It'd be super fun. I don't know when you get off, but it could work out. And he got off at like 10 and we played at 11 or something like that. So it worked out. He got off work, bopped over to the place that we were playing at, and we saw him when we got off stage, and he was just super nice. Just, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Like, great show. Really enjoyed it and very supportive. Like, super nice right off the bat. I was helping load the trailer when one of the dudes came out. I think it was Liam. It was just like, hey, Alex asked if we want to stay at his house tonight. It's like, Dude, that's great. Absolutely. Yeah, I much appreciate it. And of course, like when you're, riding around like that, anything like that is like a godsend. So we go to Alex's place and he paid to come and see us play. And then we get back to his house and we're chilling out, and he pulls out his guitar, starts playing for us, like plays us a bunch of his original music, which we were like getting into, and it was super cool. We also completely surprised his roommate. She had no idea that we were coming, so it's like, oh, open the door, here's a band. How you doing? But he, like upon our request, like just played a bunch of covers all night. We did this for like 4 hours. Liam was like having a hard time keeping his eyes open. Like all of us singing, just amped up, having a great time. It was actually absolutely one of the greatest nights of my life.
Impressions, thoughts of other TK members.
Honestly, I was worried initially.
Lord knows that they probably have impression thoughts of me. Let's start with Juwan first.
Juwan, boy's the gamer.
Jawan, dude, I still don't know what to think of that kid, man. I've known him for like at least 8 years or something like that now. I still just like day to day. My thoughts of him are like when I was dealing with some homelessness issues, he ended up helping me by giving me a place to stay for a little while.
If you're having a hard day and you just don't want to talk, he's got a way of finding what you need to hear and showing it to you genuinely.
When I didn't have an instrument, he like let me borrow his. His family has helped me out so much, so it's just like he's super quiet but just super genuine.
He's the quiet presence, but comforting.
He's a silent warrior, dude. Shreds it on guitar and will hit you with that witty when the time comes.
I couldn't appreciate that more.
Then we have Liam.
Liam
is basically our mom.
Seen him grow as a guitarist, as an artist, and then even as like manager and business guy.
What isn't Liam? He writes, he promotes, he books, he makes art, he does the lights, he does everything.
The band probably wouldn't do a whole lot without him.
He takes care of so much. He's done a lot for this band, and I owe him a lot.
We wouldn't be here without him.
He really does work his ass off for most of this.
He does a lot in the background, as a lot of you see and a lot of you may know, and he keeps me encouraged. And
we have a long history. He's gone through some rough stuff, and I've been there for some of it. And
I can rely on anybody in the band, but Will has been like, he looks after all of us. Feel blessed for that.
I'll always love Liam.
The funny thing is he knows how to relax. Like it seems to be very much a switch for him. All business, here's how we organize the trailer, here's what we need to do. Here, load in, load out, everything, just keep it moving like a machine. Then when you're standing next to him in a crowd with maybe not a lot of people at the venue, I just stand there. I'm that stoic dork that stands there with his arms crossed. Liam standing next to me. I look over and he gives me a smirk and he just immediately starts running tight little circles around me. It's like
Billy.
When I met Billy initially, he was pretty new to the band.
We picked him up just like hoping to mold him, and like Billy definitely pulled through. He impressed us.
He was a little bit deer in the headlights when I first met him, but I could tell that he was a really, really sweet dude.
At first he struggled with timing, and he caught on pretty fast.
But when the time comes to rock the vocals, I mean, he's killed it. It's been awesome watching him grow as well.
Every single day, even now, he works on his vocals so much. He always tries to find new techniques, find new sounds. He wants to work with almost anything we can give him.
Very go with the flow, very chill, and very, very friendly. Billy's the dude you just want to hug.
Billy, yeah, he's the party boy, and I love it.
Billy's pretty fun. He's hilarious. He's a memer, I guess.
He's the fun one to like throw some hip hop beats on and just get twisted with him. He's a fun kid.
He's been a fun, cool guy. Easy to work with.
He's got the internet presence down. He's a fantastic frontman when it comes to vocals. So he gets the crowd hyped. He knows what he wants to say, what he wants to do. That's Billy.
Him and I, to me, we have this weird kind of connection. We both used to be like substance abusers, and we both like kind of grew up with like not a lot of money or anything like that, wanting to be in this band and just travel and just do music. So like I see a lot of myself in him in a way, but he's just so dedicated. I just see like a lot of perseverance in him and like willingness to do whatever it is that needs to get done. Derek, dude.
Derek always has a positive energy to him, dude.
That guy is just high energy.
Biggest and loudest positive force.
Having him around ever since we brought him on, he's been excited about everything.
He's always willing to just go out and talk to people, always willing to have a good time, and just like...
He's great to work with. Like, we'll throw any song at him and he finds something that we all just automatically like, because he's got that style that we've been looking for.
If he's in a bad mood, day's done. I mean, everyone's in a bad mood.
If Derek's having a bad day, it's a terrible day.
You don't ever see him like down in the dumps, and when you do, it's really hard because we're just not used to seeing that.
Derek, out of all of us, will take the most out of their time to really just appreciate you for being there.
Just enthusiastic, sweetheart, very respectful.
Just so full of energy and so happy all the time, and I'm just so jealous of that.
Phil is...
That guy's a nerd.
Phil's the new guy.
Not as nerdy as Jawan, but in different ways.
It's hard to say if he's like really our biggest fan or not, but he definitely joined Timekeeper knowing from us already.
Me and him, we kick it good. I mean,
He was in another band.
he was in a band, Iridius.
He basically kind of like, he grew on us pretty quick since meeting him. He's been a fun guy too.
He's an awesome bassist.
Funny because he's not a bassist, but he is in this band.
He was a drummer by trade. Yeah, he used to be the vocalist of Iridius.
He's helped a lot also. He's pretty essential with like financial stuff. He's been helping Liam with stuff like that. And
He really helps me handle a lot of personal issues that we deal with the band.
He's just a straightforward dude. He is an oak. He's a good, honest dude.
A lot of planning and everything that goes into it, not a lot of the other guys had a lot of background on, but he's always willing to help out.
And he's killing it on bass.
So I guess my impression of all of them are that they're just like super nice, genuine dudes that I can really count on to get stuff done. Or if I'm having a bad day, they're the ones who I can call up and just know that like they're gonna be there for me.
I'm happy to be here. I feel really lucky.
I love these guys. I can't imagine being in any other band myself, honestly, after this.
I love everybody in this band. We all speak openly when it comes time to, and I think that's helped out a lot. So that's that.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for checking out Timekeeper and checking this out. If you guys have any more questions, I'll probably bring that up.
If you have any other questions or anything that you want to ask us, be sure just to message the page, post it in the comments down below. We love just talking to people and answering their questions. If you just have any things you're wondering about, how we got video locations, what we think of life on the road, how we deal with certain things, or even if it's not musically related, feel free just to ask us. We'd love to answer.
Support your peeps. Support your bands, support people's art, support your local breweries, be there for each other, even if it's like 6 feet apart, six feet apart. Cheers to you guys.
Do you know what else to say?